Hello, my name is Zephy. If you're anything like me, you've probably been farming the overland testing stations ever since Chapter 3 dropped, rushing to get geared up in as much Grade 5 armor and weapons as possible, and at the same time, collecting as many high-level augments as you can. I used to believe the best way to do this is to repeatedly run the lab on the highest difficulty you can possibly handle. I mean, that's where the game says the best chance to drop endgame loot comes from, right? Check that out. At level 40, 42% chance to drop grade 5 items, 49% chance to drop grade 5 augments. Compared to level 20, where there is only a 25% chance to drop grade 5 items and 34% chance to drop grade 5 augments. A reasonable person might look at that and think to themselves, you're telling me that there is a 17% greater chance to get grade 5 items and a 15% greater chance to get grade 5 augments if I run difficulty 40 over difficulty 20? Well, hell, I should be running difficulty 40 labs over and over, right? Well, I'm here to say the answer is a resounding no. It's far more efficient to farm difficulty 20 labs if your goal is to get maximum grade 5 loot and augments. Let me show you what I mean. To test my theory, I ran testing station 152 10 times on difficulty 20 and documented all loot drops as well as how long it took me to complete the lab. Here are the results. Now let's look at it in a spreadsheet. This grade 5 loot drop that I observed is actually 45%, much greater than the 26% expected. The grade 5 augment drop rate I observed is 41%, which is sort of in line with the expected drop rate of 34%. The more important number here is how long it took me to complete each run. On average, it takes me 5 minutes and 26 seconds to complete testing station 152 on difficulty 20. This comes out to one grade 5 item for almost every 11 minutes spent running a difficulty 20 lab. For grade 5 augments, I got one for every 3.9 minutes running the lab. I then ran the same station 10 more times on difficulty 40, documenting the same thing. Here are the results. Okay, let's see that in a spreadsheet. You might have noticed the need for me to add an additional column for this. As you can see here, it took much more effort in terms of time commitment to complete each run on difficulty 40. But first, let's note that the grade 5 loot drop observed for difficulty 40 was 46%, which is close enough to the 42% number that we expected. The grade 5 augment drop rate I observed is 50%. Again, very close to the expected 49% number. Let's circle back to how long it took me to complete each run. On average, it took me 17 minutes and 24 seconds to complete a run. At this drop rate, it comes out to one grade 5 item for every 24 minutes and 52 seconds spent running a difficulty 40 lab. For grade 5 augments, I got one for every 17 minutes and 24 seconds spent running the lab. I'm not even going to talk about the durability loss due to the unavoidable deaths and wear and tear your weapons are going to take, because bosses on difficulty 40 are literal bullet sponges. Just look at the two charts next to each other. I think the results are clear. If your goal is to get as much grade 5 loot as possible in as short a time as possible, there's no point farming above difficulty 20. What do you think? Do you agree with me? Post your comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.